Hello and welcome, Must Players, to another episode of our Fabled Vodcast, where we talk everything video games, film,
Fabled.
tech, frankly, anything we want to talk about.
Fable. What a great game. Did you ever play Fable?
Yeah, long time ago. Julian Price as well as David Fish-Pether are both beside me. How are you, gents?
Good.
I'm great. You know what?
Excited.
This time next week.
Yeah, we're going to have already seen Star Wars this time next week. We can't wait to bring you all of our impressions. But
Not to brag, but we are going to the premiere on Wednesday.
I mean, that is
I'm bragging.
that is absolutely a brag, by the way.
I'm sorry.
We're kind of a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't be more excited. I hope you are too. If you're already tuned in and watching the show, let us know exactly what you're expecting out of episode 9. But in the meantime, we want to show you the newest game announcement of the week. Came a little bit before the PlayStation State of Play, and it was Resident Evil 3. Meso should have item 1, Meso. You'll be able to see the trailer for it.
Even prolonged the Resident Evil.
By the way, now I've never played Resident Evil 3. So, Fish, have you being a fan?
Yes.
Can you quickly run us through this motif? The whole time, is that actually a factor in any way, shape, or form?
I can't remember that much in terms of the time thing, but I know that it's set around the events of Resident Evil 2. I believe Resident Evil 2 happens in the middle of Resident Evil 3. So Jill Valentine, who's the heroine in here, she's from the first Resident Evil. She was one of the STARS members that went and found the mansion where the virus originates.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like cool. Like she's come back into it. She's just like a really big character, and it's I just can't. I'm so excited for this game. I'm kind of losing my track here.
We need to talk about this because this is first-person gameplay, almost akin to Resident Evil 7. That is not what Resident Evil 3 was initially. So, what is this saying to you? I mean, are we expecting a bit of a blend of sort of the remake of 2 with the story of 3, but with Resident Evil 7 gameplay?
Well, that's immediately what I thought when I saw this trailer, because like there is a whole big sequence here of first person. The Nemesis is chasing him. The Nemesis is the original name of the Resident Evil 3 was Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and I don't know if you guys got far enough in Resident Evil 2 to take on the Tyrant.
We might shortly.
But the Tyrant was terrifying and is basically like a version of the Nemesis. It's kind of like this Terminator that's just chasing you down the entire time, and but he's like times 100. He has like rocket launchers, and he's just incredibly terrifying. But I'm kind of hoping that there could be a mix, because here we're seeing, these are obviously cutscenes, but we are seeing Jill in a third-person perspective per se. But to take on that viewpoint from Resident Evil 7, I would be totally for it.
Me too. I mean, I loved it. And we're seeing a few more first-person sequences there. That looks distinctly third-person. So who knows? Maybe it's a bit of a blend. It's got us talking. I'm excited for it. And the reason why we really wanted to bring up Resident Evil 3, not because, that's not terrifying and I'm excited for it. By the way, April is really early. From announcement to release, that's like 4 months.
Well, there was rumors that it would be a Halloween release, so for it to come out in April is huge. I guess like Resident Evil 2 came out in January this year, so it's a year ahead. But like you said, it's a quick turnaround from an announcement.
It's quite phenomenal too that we could potentially have almost every single Resident Evil game playable on modern consoles right now.
Yeah.
Especially on the Switch. I think if this does come to the Switch, or if we get 2 on there,
no doubt it will.
It'll have pretty much everything on it, because they've re-released 5 and 6, they've re-released 1 and 2 and all the rest. So it's actually a really big move. Now, the reason why I'm so intent on talking about Resident Evil 3 as our first topic is because it perfectly leads into our Game of the Year discussions, Fish. Now, we're going to kick off with you because, as a bit of a homage to the trailer, as well as your early pick for Game of the Year, we wanted to play a bit of it. So, Meso, if you would do the honours of changing us over to a bit of gameplay, not on that computer. The man is still learning the technology.
We're all
Here we go.
Hey,
all
there
right.
it is. Look out.
Now, I have not played this game in quite some time. I got about 6 hours into Resident Evil 2 and then just thought, you know what, I need to sit down and actually spend a full day playing this.
Yeah.
Haven't had that full day since.
No, I finished it in a day with a mate. I play all the Resident Evils with my mate Traffy, and we do it in a sitting if we can.
Yeah.
And it was a time when the floods were happening up in Townsville, so we were locked inside, and we just played this game and it scared the pants off us.
Now, I have a confession. I've never played this game.
You've never played Resident Evil 2 at all, or you've never played?
I've never really played the Resident Evil games.
I'm just going to crank up the brightness a bit because I'm
good.
struggling to see at all here.
They're especially good because now they've gone back to this survival horror thing, which the
I could barely see where the wall
It's so
was.
scary for him.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because the Resident Evil franchise did go a
right.
bit action horror-y. Did you play 5 or 6, Santo?
Yes, I played both.
Yeah.
And I did enjoy both.
Like, they're fun games, but they're not this. Like, you kill a zombie and you pick up bullets sort of thing. Where this one's like, you don't shoot any bullets because you may not get any more.
Oh, yeah.
So you run around everything.
That is very much this game. And now that I can actually see, I'm excited to...
Oh, look out for those lickers.
Well, see, this is where I died
Oi,
last. So I have got...
Run! There's a zombie!
What do you mean there's one right next to me? No, there wasn't.
Yeah, there was.
Anyway, this is Resident Evil
You didn't board up the windows.
This is Resident Evil 2. I'm actually sweating already. And I don't know where I am. So, Fish, can you walk us through why this is your game of the year?
Well, the simple fact is I played this 3 times back to back. I finished it 3 times. Like, it does help. Like, you can play it in a new scenario. You can play it as Claire, the other character. But I went through and finished it 3 times within a week or 2. And I just don't do that.
Does it have that sort of replayability, or did you just like the
no.
game that much?
No, it does. It does to a certain extent. You can play it. It's called New Game Plus sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
So you get a little bit extra.
Keep your stuff and
Yeah. And if you play as Claire, it's a slightly different story. Not as different.
Sorry.
They'll get you.
Oh my god, the lag! Oh my god! No, I'm not enjoying this, guys. No, this is good.
You can't do this with lag, man. It just doesn't work. But I never do that. I barely ever finish games, let alone play them 3 times in a row. So I was a huge fan of Resident Evil 2 as well. It was probably one of my most played games as a kid. And it scared the pants off me
Jesus
as well.
Christ.
This is not a good spot to be. There's a lot of zombies in this area. But I think this game just captured the nostalgia of the original, but brought a fresh feel to it that just really resonates with me. Like, playing this now, I actually want to go back and play it again. That's how much I love this game.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm alright. Sorry, I'm genuinely panicked. But
it does,
that's
and it
what I
scares the
love
pants
about
off
Resident
you.
Evil, because it's a horror game. That is supposed to be fear-inducing. I've got no sound right now, and I'm genuinely... Every time the controller vibrates, I'm about to have a heart attack.
Well, I do have a great story about the sound. I don't know if I've told it on the podcast before, but the tyrant that I brought up before is a monster that eventually starts chasing you later in the game, and it never stops coming for you. So basically, you're trying to figure out puzzles, and this thing and you can't kill him. Like, you can stop him, but you can't kill him, sort of thing, and you don't want to waste the bullets. So you basically have to try to figure out a little bit of a puzzle, and then run away, go to the other side of the map, let him chase you, and then come back. But the sound design, when that guy is coming after you, is just like... And I was cranking it on my surround sound system back at home, and I was playing it at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was so loud, and my subwoofer was going off so hectic with the bass of this guy's footsteps that it actually warped my house. And I heard a crash in the back room in the kitchen, and it scared the hell out of me. And I dropped my controller, and I ran out to there, and part of the skirting on my roof had cracked off from the base of this guy's footsteps. That's how hectic this game is.
That's how you know it's a good game, right there.
It
Now,
cracks your skirting
let's
board.
just hope that there's no zombies in
Yeah.
here. There's lights. All right, there's lights. I'm confident with lights.
There's zombies. Zombies come in here.
Obviously it came out in January.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of other games that have come out since. Why do you think this holds up as still your game of the year?
Well-
Nothing else you've played this year comes close?
Well, Jedi Fallen Order is probably the closest, and maybe Luigi's Mansion. Because mainly Luigi's Mansion because it's a cartoon version of this game, basically.
That is not an accurate comparison. For any parents out there thinking, oh, my kid really likes Luigi's Mansion, maybe I'll get him Resident Evil 2
No,
for
do
Christmas.
not do that. It's the kids' version.
opposite
Come on.
of what you
No,
need
it's
to
got
do.
it's got that. It's sort of got a survival horror feel about it. You got to do the puzzles and all that sort of thing. It's just the kid version. But like I said, it's definitely the nostalgia kick for me as well. Like Resident Evil 2 is easily in my top 5 games. Like the original, this probably overtakes it, which is saying something. So that helps. And like I said, just the fact that I could play it over and over and over, and like I would go back and play this again.
And let's be honest, this is gorgeous. This game,
it's one of the prettiest games I've ever seen.
is really good.
Yeah.
And I'm a big Resident Evil 4 fan. I never played Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 4 was my first one.
Yep. Yeah.
And that is one of my games of all time. Like,
Yeah.
if I think we had to talk about games of the decade, even though I know it came out originally on the GameCube.
You get like a re-release. There'd be a re-release in there.
Absolutely.
I liked Resident Evil 4. I didn't think it was as scary as the originals though, because it went to this kind of view, the over the shoulder third person view, whereas the original games were fixed cameras that had these really cool matte paintings. And I kind of liked the cinematic feel of that. Whereas this sort of brings in best of both worlds. Like you've got that third person feel, but it's still scary as hell.
Yeah, I mean, preach.
Preach.
I wanted to know where you sit on this, Jules. As somebody who's never played Resident Evil, if you had to convince Jules why this game, he should vote for this game, as opposed to everything else that's come out this year, why would we pick a remake over a brand new title?
See, that does make it a hard selling point, doesn't it? Because it is a remake. This game already exists, but I think it takes what the original game was and just amplifies everything. But basically, I just don't feel you'll get this kind of experience in any other game. Like, there's a lot of like horror games out there. There's a lot of survival horror games out there, but this one just nails it. It has the perfect mixture of like battling the bad guys and running from the bad guys, but then all this sort of stuff where you got to get keys, you gotta do puzzles and all that sort of thing. But just that feeling of dread the entire time. Like I think you definitely have to be a horror fan to enjoy this thing. Cause you played Outlast, didn't you?
Yeah, I played Outlast 1 and 2.
Outlast?
Yeah, I love those games.
So like this isn't as well, it is jump scary.
Well,
but
I feel like I could get on board this game a bit more than Outlast, because Outlast was just like disturbing.
Yeah. Outlast was like you walk down a corridor and something's going to jump out at you every time, almost. And it was fun and it was scary, but the lore behind this as well
seems a
and
bit more realistic.
I've literally just been walking around in circles. I don't know where I am, and I'm scared to go anywhere else.
You got to go up the stairs. Go the stairs.
Go the stairs, all right.
Yeah, so
okay.
around that corner there and go up the stairs. There'll be some zombies up there, but it's sweet.
Well, if this is the one you're picking, Fish, I mean, is there anything else that you would consider as a game of the year? Like, if the remake aspect of it was...
If you had to knock that out...
If you had to knock that out, what else could you pick?
It'd probably be Jedi Fallen Order.
Which leads me on to Julian. Mr. Price, I believe that would probably be your game of the year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I gotta say, this hasn't been the best year for games. For me, personally.
No, actually, I wanted to say that because this came out in January, right? And then my next two that I mentioned before was Luigi's and Jedi, and that's October, November. There was really nothing in between that I really...
There were games that I played that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Plague's Tale was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Great storyline for that one, and the gameplay was great too. Metro Exodus came out this year too.
Yeah, you did like that. I didn't play either of those.
But I've got to give Star Wars my nomination this year, just because it's Star Wars, and it wouldn't be right if I didn't. Like, I'm all for... I feel like this is a turning point for video games when a Star Wars game comes out and it's single player only, and it's got a great storyline, awesome lightsaber combat. Like, I know it was a bit restrictive in exploration and a bit glitchy when it first came out, but it still won me over. So
do you think it won you over because it really gave you that Star Wars feel? Like
yeah,
that Star,
I was a Jedi. I was learning to be a Jedi. I was getting stronger as I progressed. It was...
Yeah. Like, I still haven't finished it, but the parts that I have played of it, it just felt like I was playing a Star Wars movie. Like,
Yeah.
So that's saying something, because when you make a movie adaptation, you want to be able to bring the magic of the movie into the game,
and they did that.
And I think they nailed that, yeah.
Especially with the whole last level, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but the last level
There's
is
movie
great.
magic.
Now, I can't play this, so Fish, do you want to play just while I talk? Because I need to. I'm actually just going onto Metacritic now because there's actually been so few games that have come out this year. Do you want to bring it back up if you can, Meso? And we'll let Fish just take the reins and see what he can actually do while I'm
There's the delay.
not ruining it.
This delay is terrible.
Because I personally think that my game of the year, and I know it's not a great choice, but
Ooh.
it's probably, without wanting to double up on yours, Jules, it's probably Fire Emblem. And I think,
okay.
given how frustrated I was with the back half of that game, sorry, I've got inverted controls. If you want to change that, you can go into the.
God, I was like, why am I looking at the floor?
But I genuinely think that's all I really played and dove into and enjoyed.
You got right into
I
the
did.
Fire Emblem.
Especially the-
Didn't you say that you were kind of disappointed in the?
I was disappointed in the second half.
Later it got-
First
yeah.
half, unbelievable. Really great. Loved the art style. Thought the character development was amazing. But everything else since has been a little bit lackluster. And I don't know if you're looking at top games of the year there, Jules, but is anything standing out for you? I mean, because I played Legend of Zelda Link's
Where
Awakening.
is the inverted part?
Canes of Hyrule, which you didn't rate
It might
super
be
highly.
in camera.
Whatever.
So Fire Emblem Three Houses, that's yours. I mean, it's rated well online.
Did
Sekiro, I never played Sekiro, but I know that it's been compared to Fallen Order.
It's really more of a Bloodborne / Dark Souls competitor. Like, if I had to pick anything, that would be my comparison. Although I don't necessarily feel as though it reached the heights of either of those games. I personally would say Fire Emblem was mine in terms of the best game I played this year. But if that came away with the game of the year, I think that's pretty indicative of a relatively poor year. Do you want to just...
I mean,
it's probably in the talks.
You
though,
played
isn't it?
Death Stranding. Would you put that in your top?
No.
Okay.
No.
See, a lot of people would though. A lot of people I've spoke to
Yeah.
who have finished Death Stranding loved it, and they say you need to play it for like 10 hours to get into it. And I played it a good chunk. I probably played about 5 hours, and then I just fell off because it was just a lot of walking around, and I got frustrated with. I feel if I had a whole day to sit there and do it, I would probably get into it a bit more. But it's definitely not my game of the year.
So, by the way, I'm going after the last amulet, if that helps you at all, if you want to try and find where I need to be. Go underneath the bloody door, by all means. I don't know, like, having a look at the other games, I know Borderlands 3 was huge. There was a lot of hype for that when it came out, and I know...
It was pretty much a beefed up Borderlands 2 at the end of it.
Yeah, well, again, I haven't played a Borderlands game. I really loved the animation in Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah.
Again, don't know if it's a game of the year contender. It was a good game. It was a great game. I enjoyed it. It's a good little sequel, but it just seems like we haven't had the big heavy hitter.
Well, I think of it even in terms of like last year, we had awesome indie games like Celeste. Like Celeste is still... I probably don't like Celeste as much as I like Resident Evil 2, but if Celeste came out this year, it would be second to Resident Evil 2 for me. Like, it's such a great game. And like we had Detroit Become Human, and Ni no Kuni was one of my two ones last year, and obviously Spider-Man and God of War. There's no Spider-Man or God of War this year, right?
No.
Like, it was a really weird year.
There are a few games that would have loved to have been. Anthem, that was a big flop.
Oh, that was this year. That's right.
Yep. Division 2. I think Meso played that. Did you get into it?
Division 2 was it was good, but the player
Good,
base just fell
but
off
the player
so
base
quick.
just fell off
Yeah.
so
Really?
quick, and it's a game where
Thrives on player base.
Yeah.
thrives on play. Sorry, I'm just trying to... No one can hear you over there, so I was trying...
Apex Legends is a good one.
Apex Legends was a really big online game,
But
and
I
I
also
think...
feel like that came and went. Are people still playing that?
Still playing that.
I think
Yeah, that's pretty big.
it's earned its fan base now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So-
It's made by the same people who made Jedi Fallen Order.
We have to give a special shout out to Untitled Goose Game.
Oh, Untitled Goose Game is great.
A great indie for the year.
Yeah, that'd be my indie of the year for sure.
Yeah, I think what was that other one? Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds was supposedly very good as well.
yeah,
Super Mario Maker 2 came
probably
out
get
this
that for
year.
Christmas.
It was fine for what it was, but again, unless you want to really dive into that game and invest time in making levels, I think it was a little bit shallow.
And how'd you go with Pokemon? Did you?
I was playing Pokemon a bit more today, but it's fine, but it's not a game of the year contender.
It's not making
fine,
it,
and in
yeah.
fact, it's almost disappointing as a Pokemon game. Like it's good enough for what it is, but I genuinely don't think anyone's going to remember any of the new Pokemon out of this game. Like it's,
Really?
I think the designs aren't necessarily all that interesting. The world isn't necessarily all that interesting, and there are just even the battles. Like it just takes so long to
Yeah.
get through,
Yeah.
and it's not much of a challenge. It's just like, all right, well, I need to attack it
Button
with this
mash.
water move 3 times. He's going to attack me
Yeah,
with
it's
his
almost the
scratch
same
2
with-
times.
Which is what the original.
But
yeah.
speed it up. You know what I'm saying?
Like it was okay for the Game Boy back
Yeah.
in 1995.
Well, let's quickly take a look ahead to next year and compare it to this year.
By all means, if anyone is watching and has a game of the year that you think that we've missed, if there's any major one, to be honest, I mean, it's kind of odd that we haven't, that I haven't finished Resident Evil 2, because I feel like that is probably...
Everyone, you heard him scream before, yeah?
Yeah,
That's why he
that's
hasn't
why I
finished it.
haven't finished it.
You throw it open to DLC that's come out this year. There's been good DLC that's come out this year.
Well, what do you want to... Do you want to come around here and tell us about Destiny, Meso? No.
Destiny, Tarkov, City Skylines, there's good DLC.
Your big 3 heavy hitters being Destiny, Tarkov, and City Skylines all got 3 big DLCs, and I did have to listen to you speak about them on every car ride because you just love them so much. But that's fair enough. Like they're good enough to be spoken about in that regard.
You're listening to Star Wars and Marvel.
Yes, you do have to listen to a lot of Star Wars and Marvel. Yes, Jeff votes in applause for you.
I did see City Skylines is on Switch. I didn't realize that.
Really?
Yeah. I
All
saw
right,
it
maybe
on-
I'll finally get into it.
yeah.
Mason.
Next year, we got Cyberpunk. That's already, like, going to be
Yeah.
It's a-
up there.
It's a huge first half of the year, so yeah.
We almost had Doom Eternal this year,
Yep.
but we didn't. Who knows? Doom Eternal could have taken home the crown for all we know.
Yeah.
We got a new Half-Life game coming next year. New Halo game coming at the end of the year. That new Dragon Ball Z game looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yes,
Open
it does.
world.
Karakot.
Kakarot.
Monster Hunter. There's apparently a new Monster Hunter coming out. Oh well, that's sort of DLC. on
Dying
this
Light
one.
2. I don't know if you played the first one, but that was awesome.
didn't mind it.
Zombie parkour. It's very repetitive, but it was good.
Um,
What else we got?
Man, I can't see where you're
Microsoft
up to.
Flight Simulator 2020. Watch Dogs Legion.
Oh, yeah,
The
that doesn't
Avengers
look too
game's
bad.
coming out. Oh shit. There's a lot.
There's a-
letdown was
The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, Last of Us
2.
Part 2 as well. And yeah, you did highlight, I mean, I feel like a lot of games had a lot of
Ghost of
hype
Tsushima.
going into them, but they just never really picked up steam post-launch. And I wonder if that's whether it's something to do with the marketing of... Sorry, Fish.
And the inverted and lag is not helping me.
Kill him!
Oh no.
Um,
That so would have killed you then.
Nah,
Nah, not game of the year.
nah. It's just my 6 skills, bro. Oh, that guy's gonna kill me though. That guy will kill me. Run!
Fish, did you not work out how to fix the inverted
No,
controls?
the menu was behind us, so
Oh,
I couldn't see it.
Give it to me.
But you get back on it.
All right.
You get back on it. I really did nothing. I just wandered around. I don't know exactly where.
I was doing the
needed to
exact
go,
same thing. I
so-
feel like you're injured now, and
Yeah,
I need to
I've killed you.
heal
I've killed
myself
you.
in some way, shape.
I did get you a first aid, so you can.
Oh, lovely.
know,
Thank you very
you're
much.
welcome.
I don't even know how to get there, but it's been that long. Oh my god, where is it?
Is it start
No,
option
I
maybe?
gotta get around to
Triangle. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going Resident Evil and Jedi. Your Jedi, and what was your second?
I didn't really lock in a second, I don't think, but maybe a Plague's Tale.
Plague Tale. Yeah, cool.
I'm gonna have to go with Fire Emblem and Jedi
Yeah.
as well. If I had to pick like a Smokey for third, Untitled Goose Game,
Yeah.
just because it is what it is.
Mesa, what's your game of the year? Or nomination?
Your nomination.
Or even what did you say, DLC?
No,
would
I
be-
can't have this.
I would go. I've only played 2 hours of Jedi, so I don't know. So I'd go Apex
Apex.
and the new COD.
Modern
Oh,
Warfare?
COD, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Modern Warfare was good. I mean, I played through the campaign and smashed it out in a day. Really enjoyed it, but I just feel like the multiplayer more than ever was very much leaning towards a grind. And it wasn't just because it wanted you to pay money or anything like that. And maybe it's just because I'm so bad at Modern Warfare, but it felt as though... Has the gameplay always been that way, Meso, in that it's...
Yep.
It's very campy. Oh my god, Fish, we're out of bullets.
No, that one's more.
You had no bullets.
Why do you go for the chest?
How do I punch?
But as far as
You
the grind,
can't.
it's always-
What do you mean I can't? Yeah, I'm not too sure. I would personally go with
Can you get out there?
to the exit. Yeah, I can get out, but I don't know what it's
You
going
go
to say.
down into the. Oh, you still haven't. Oh man.
No, I have done this bit.
Once you unburn that helicopter, that's when everything gets real.
Oh, great. I'm already scared of this bloke over here. So let's maybe, given how incompetent I've been, we leave it at that.
Let's leave it there. You don't know, Terror Boy.
We need to go through your Game of the Year nominations. So if you are watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, let us know what you would vote for Game of the Year. We'll put a poll up during the week, and we will announce our Game of the Year next week. Along with a cool little Star Wars giveaway that we're going to be doing for the final episode of the year, Jules. Now,
and it's got a lot in it too, so get excited. We'll put it up on our social media this week.
real quick, we got 3 big movie trailers this week. I believe we got a couple of images there, Meso. The first one that we want to chat about is Free Guy, starring Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I knew nothing about this movie.
Neither did I. It seemingly just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, really random, and it looks like it's essentially.
Santo.
I'm
Looks like
taking that as a
Santo.
compliment. If you reckon,
Man,
is
right,
it the
yeah.
blue? Is it the blue jumper? That's
It's the business, man.
It's a business. So,
Yeah, good.
Meso and Jeff are saying that Ryan Reynolds is looking like Santo here. If you
I'll
didn't
take
catch
it.
That.
That's-
Yeah, that's
that's-
a big,
Ladies,
that's big props.
he's taken.
Yeah. A video game. A guy who lives inside a video game.
An
by the looks
NPC
of it.
breaks free, essentially.
Yeah.
yeah. Interesting concept for a film. I don't know if the trailer necessarily sold the story
It was
so
very
well.
Grand Theft Auto Fortnite.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So look, I'm more than happy to give this one a go, but I didn't really see any storyline there. It was just
No.
like an NPC works out if he puts these glasses on, he can see.
It looks like
People
he's
in
just. It's a movie to take the piss.
Like, I feel like, this was a tease, right? Because none of us knew what it was about.
It was a
It's
long
like, all of a
tease,
sudden-
though.
It was a really long tease. But it looks fun. I'm not really a big fan of, like, the full CGI look that's going on. But I don't know. Ryan Reynolds is great, so I'll watch anything with him in it.
We'll take that. We also
Hence
got
video game
we also got trailers for Ghostbusters, the new one with Paul Rudd. So they've axed the all-female cast, as well as for Wonder Woman 1984. Wonder Woman is almost like Stranger Things now. It's
Man, they're capitalizing on that 80s nostalgia that's going on at the moment. And look, I'm okay with it. Like, it's great. It's a great era to look back on. And it looks fun.
It does.
Like, it looks really fun.
we get to see the lasso of truth. We've got the invisible plane.
Yep.
We've got somehow Spock or James Kirk or whatever his name is back. The guy from Star Trek, you know the one I'm talking about, with no
Kirk,
explanation.
yeah.
How is he back?
And
Yeah, they don't really say anything
He
about
thinks
it.
a garbage bin is art, which is great.
That was funny.
I think that of the 3 was the most promising to me. Wonder Woman 1984. I actually quite enjoyed Wonder Woman, the first one.
Ghostbusters is mine. for
Really?
sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Peter says the Ghostbusters trailer looks
Yeah,
awesome.
Looked
Ghostbusters.
awesome.
Like, I really like that because it was what I always thought they needed to do was a passing of the torch of sorts. And, like, I still don't understand why everybody hated on the all-female Ghostbusters movie because it was fantastic.
Yeah, I liked it.
But they really probably should have had Bill Murray in the team being like, hey, girls, we're too old for this. You guys take over. Just a little handover. But,
Like what they're
which
doing
is-
with James Bond in some way,
yeah,
shape, or
basically, yeah. Whereas in this one, it looks like that. But the thing I really like about the trailer was they didn't show any of the original cast. We know they're in it, but it's the
Yeah, good,
you know,
keep it.
yeah, it's like keep the mystery and the reveal when they come out. Like they'll probably ruin it in the next trailer. But
Look, ultimately, I'm just amazed that Paul Rudd continues to look as young as he does.
He hasn't
That man
aged.
is ageless. He looks great with a beard.
yeah, he does.
Complete opposite side of the scale is the bloke from Stranger Things, Mike. I don't know.
wow. Yeah.
He is like
He just
tall.
like shut up.
he's
Yeah.
like the thinnest and tallest teenager I've ever seen in my life at this point. And I do love the fact, and I can't remember if it's in the originals that there's a gunner seat on the.
I don't think there was. I
the
don't
car?
remember.
No?
Oh, maybe in 2.
Okay. I don't recall that at all. I don't even remember if I've seen 2. I think I've seen 1 a lot of times, but not 2. I might have seen
2's
it
the
once.
one where the Statue of Liberty
Yeah.
is walking through through New York. It's pretty cool. Number 1's a timeless classic. Like it's a fantastic movie, and I think a lot of people are saying like this new movie won't work because the reason that the original worked was it was basically your everyday slacker doing a job that's cool. You know, it wasn't like, you know, some really handsome dude who's saving the world. It was just like Bill Murray.
Well, they've definitely played up the drama of it. It looks as though it's going for Hollywood blockbuster instead of sort of TV show turned into a film. That's one
Totally.
thing that...
Yeah, totally. But it's like, I really like the way it looks though. Like the cinematography in it is looking very, it doesn't feel like the old one, which might be a bit of a blow, but like the way it's looking, I don't know, everything about that trailer just had me with goosebumps.
Yeah.
And you got Bill Murray's talking over it, but you never see him. Yeah, I'm keen. If you can't
I'm
tell.
keen. Jules, you keen?
Yeah,
you
I'm
can't
keen.
even think about anything but Star Wars at this point, can you?
So exciting.
That's
You're gonna
true.
learn who
I'm-
you got to call.
I'm so jazzed.
Speaking of Star Wars, just quickly, like they keep bringing out new trailers almost every day,
Yeah.
and they keep having new little bits of footage in there. And I think I've
I
reached
stopped watching.
this. I finally reached the point where I don't want to see any more Star Wars.
Yeah. It's bad. I don't know why.
Watch the movie.
It's very much geared towards social media, but it's coming out on all platforms. And I think when they release video after video after video on YouTube in particular, where you expect to just see the trailers and that's it, you watch it because you think it's going to be something substantial, but a lot of the time they're just giving away bits and pieces which you don't need to
Yeah.
see. Like the
No. It's so funny that they feel they need to do it with Star Wars, though. It's like,
Well, I
people
think
are already
I
going to go
think
see
they're
it.
nervous.
I think-
No, because after
Solo.
The Last Jedi,
Ah.
a lot of the fan base aren't going to go and see The Rise of Skywalker. They're almost boycotting it. It's a big thing on.
Really?
Online,
but
but-
I thought because JJ was back, we're in safe hands, right?
Yeah, but
Ryan
I
Johnson stepped
think
aside.
some
They're going
people
back.
are having such a whinge about it. They just feel like there's no way to redeem it.
mate, when is the internet not having a whinge?
Yeah, that's true.
When are we not having a whinge?
Speaking of the internet,
We're whinging about the whinges right now.
Keanu Reeves was trending today on.
Oh,
For good reason.
This
on Twitter.
is so funny.
So The Matrix 4 comes out on the 21st of May, 2021.
And when does John Wick 4 come out?
21st of May, 2021. They both come out on the same day, and they both star Keanu Reeves.
International Keanu Reeves Day.
It's
That's what we should be.
that
That's
is
what it
remarkable.
should be named.
That's
yeah.
such a weird
I mean, I
choice.
think Keanu Reeves is definitely he's been the flavor of the year.
Oh, totally.
In terms
He's
of talent, he
One of the top trending people on Google searches too.
he's
Oh.
just come out of the woods this year, and
Yeah.
I mean,
Hold on.
he was a big
When-
thing, but now he's a big thing
When does Cyberpunk come out?
next year.
That's May, right?
Yeah, but not
Is it May 21st as well? Because he's in that. Imagine
Can
that.
you just double check?
yeah, but
Forget a day. This is going to be like Keanu month.
no, because the movies come out the year after Cyberpunk.
Oh, of course. Sorry, it's 2021.
Oh, 20 yeah,
It's
no,
close.
yeah,
It's April
sorry.
16.
Okay. Yeah, no, I got
We'll-
it.
we'll
Yeah,
just
we're
claim
a
it.
couple of years
We'll
ahead.
claim it. Don't
But,
worry about it.
That's what do you think? Do you think they're going to change that?
I don't know if they're going to go head to head those two movies. I feel personally that The Matrix 4 is going to like topple John Wick 4.
See, I
Because
don't know. I
John
don't
Wick
know.
3 is good fun, but like it's the same movie.
Everybody froths about John Wick, man. I don't understand. Like I love
love
them.
it.
I love them, but I don't understand why they're so big.
But the thing is, with The
It's-
Matrix, it's a movie that we haven't seen for so long,
Yeah, but
and they're bringing it back. So I feel like more people are going to be interested in The Matrix 4 than.
But a lot of people didn't like part 2 and 3. Like everyone, like that first movie is like I love Matrix Reloaded. We were talking before is like it's probably my
They all
favorite.
go
but-
together so well. I don't know.
Like I don't know. I feel like maybe because it has been so long and because it like the last 2 movies left a bad taste in like a la Last Jedi. It's whereas John Wick is hot. Like if you bring John Wick out, you are guaranteed box office success right now. So I'm really interested to see which would
Keanu
go.
Reeves can't lose.
I think, you know, he can't.
And
I'm
as
sure he's
Cal-
getting a very
as
good
Kellen
pay.
He's
said-
gonna do well.
Kellen said on our Facebook, the people can't lose either.
That's true.
So it's going to
It's
be
a double feature day.
May 21st, 2021 is going to be a big
Surely.
month for
If you're
movies.
Hoyts or Village or someone, you're selling a double pass.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Totally.
People would do that.
Keanu Reeves
Well,
pass.
Right,
if-
Jeff, you going to come along with us?
Yeah.
No? All right.
Not a fan of Keanu.
That I'm not even asked for my vote of Game of the Year.
Oh, well, what would you...
Well, we
what
already
would
know
you
it's
like?
Untitled Goose Game. So
Solitaire.
Solitaire.
What's on... what games are on iTunes that we can no longer
Which movie would you guys see? Would you go see Matrix?
get? Matrix.
I'd see
every day.
Matrix too.
Yeah,
My-
I
my-
would, but I would also see John Wick
John,
in the
I
double
will
feature
see
I'm
it.
seeing.
Yeah. But if I had to choose one, I'd definitely go Matrix.
My
I'm very
biggest
excited
fear for
about it.
Matrix is that I'm sure it's going to be great, but it will be unnecessary. Just like
Totally,
Toy
it
Story
was wrapped
4,
up. It was wrapped
just
up.
like Toy Story
Yeah,
4
yeah,
this
yeah.
year, it'll be unbelievably unnecessary. Even though it's a great film, we're just going to sort of feel a bit hollow at the end of it because
Yeah.
3 had an ending.
Like, to me, it's just another. It feels like it's just going to be another episode in the world. Like, the story is told, the Neo story. Unlike, even like the Skywalker saga is about to come to an end, but we're still going to get more Star Wars movies. It depends on if we like this new characters that we're taking on and the new direction that it's going to go. So,
Just quickly, Baby Yoda. Yes, no.
Yeah, of course.
He's gone. He's taken over.
The man's got a T-shirt on right now.
Oh, of course. I love that T-shirt. by
I
the
didn't
way.
know there was any debate.
Baby Yoda.
He's
there-
universally
I saw a
loved.
promo on TV today for a segment on a morning breakfast show that is just going to be about Baby Yoda.
For one of our morning breakfast shows.
Yes.
You're kidding me? Which one's Sunrise?
No.
Today.
Today.
Oh, fantastic.
They're doing the hype around Baby Yoda, which is crazy. Amongst all this hype and Star Wars coming out, there's one thing that I think we've almost forgotten about, which is the Witcher TV series. Comes out
yeah.
next Friday.
oh wow, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 20th.
Are they doing that episodically as well, though?
Yeah, first episode comes
first
out
episode.
next Friday. So Netflix, hold on to your subscriptions.
I'm happy with that. I like these episodic things. I don't want to
Yeah.
binge anymore.
I'm
I'm over
dealing-
the binge. I love The
Yes.
Mandalorian. First thing on a Saturday
well,
morning, I
it's-
feel like I'm waking up to watch cartoons. I
it's
get
so
up,
cool.
Probably a way to keep
turn on Disney
the,
Plus first thing. I'm
subscribers.
8 years old again, and I'm like, Baby Yoda. I just get these like
Yeah,
love
yeah,
goggles on
yeah.
for 40 minutes. It's great.
I think it's so funny that we have stepped back because everybody wanted that binge. Like everybody, although there are people out there who aren't watching. Like my brother's not watching Mandalorian because he wants to watch it all in one hit, and I'm like, nah, man. It's something about, like you said,
Yeah.
that weekly. It's like a little treat at the end of the week.
Absolutely, it is. It comes out on the perfect day for us too. It's the start
Yeah.
of the weekend,
Yeah.
and you know what? You can just dedicate your Saturday morning, even if you're having breakfast. Just sit down and enjoy some Baby Yoda. It's great.
You can
And a bit
never
of
have
Pedro
too much.
Pascal, who, by the way, I didn't realise, because obviously he's in a mask
Mm.
the entire time, that Pedro Pascal is the bloke from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he's the-
Oberyn. Yeah, the one who got his head smushed.
Yeah.
Isn't he also in Narcos?
Yeah, he's in Narcos too.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Oh, big fan.
He
The man
can
just
he
had
can
this-
act behind a mask,
Yeah.
and make us care about him.
Actually, I don't know if we care about the Mandalorian just yet. Because we don't really know anything about him other than the fact that he has a soft spot for Baby
I was going
Yoda.
to say he's sympathetic to Baby Yoda, so I like it.
Yeah, exactly. And that apparently there's a way that they follow, but we don't really know what the way is just yet.
But this is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Yeah.
And what's the last thing we know about him?
Um,
Oh, that he was obviously not an actual Mandalorian. He's sort of been adopted in.
yeah, yeah.
But we don't know much about him.
Badass.
But that's I think the
Anyway,
mystery
we've
is
hardly
what I like
seen
about it.
anything. There's only 5
Yeah.
episodes out.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining.
I'm just saying we've got so much more to learn.
Anyway. That is our show for the week, unless you wanted to start a discussion on anything else, Julio? No?
No,
Happy?
well,
Yeah.
joint.
No, all
Do we
good.
want to do a quick nominations for movies of the year?
Why don't we leave movies of the year till next week? We will wait for people's nominations throughout the week, and we'll put a poll up because there have been so many great films this year.
Yeah, it's been better for movies than games. That's for sure.
And we still got one more to come.
We've got a big one to
Yeah,
come.
we can't talk it until we've seen Star
Yeah.
Wars.
I mean, just quickly, Fish, because you are our cinephile, is there anything in particular that stands out of the
Oh.
ordinary for you?
Well, definitely Joker. Joker's up there. That was a masterpiece. And funnily enough, the one that I think of just off the top of my head is Hobbs and Shaw, because I had so much fun with that movie.
Dwayne and,
The Rock Johnson.
Statham, just with the most over-the-top Fast and
Just
Furious movie ever.
flexing
On that
all
note.
the time.
Don't forget, we have a Star Wars Prize Pack 2 giveaway, so stay across our social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'll share the link.
Aladdin was good too.
It's not definitely.
Roll credits.
Thank you again for watching, and good night.